We are live. I think we're connecting on some other channels just right now. Gradually connecting. Oh, there's a 40%, 80%, 100% uploading. Okay, let's go. 1 second. It's just LinkedIn's uploading right now. It's taking longer than the others.
Yes. So we are using a new platform. It is called Riverside, in case you're wondering. And we're streaming to a lot of different platforms, but we're going to go ahead and jump in. So today we're going to be talking about re embracing change. So, from my experience, my personal experience right now, 2025 has been a very unusual year, if I could say that, not only for myself but for a lot of other people as well. And so today we're going to be talking about re-embracing change. If this is your first time seeing me, hello, my name is A Faith, and this is my partner Devin Edwards. We are accountability
Hello.
consultants. We support business owners and entrepreneurs to restructure their life, be more productive so they can live full, fulfilling lives. And so we talk about different things around restructuring your life. We talk about re-embracing change and just so many things so you can be more productive, have more time and energy doing the things that you love. With that being said, re-embracing change. So, Devan, what empowered you to want to talk about this topic?
So, well, yeah, definitely. Firstly, I just want to give a shout out to the new mic. Hopefully, it's coming through clearly. But
It
yeah,
is.
what empowered me to bring up this topic? It literally came to me while we was talking actually, and I was talking about what are certain moments or events in our life that we're in the process of overcoming, or we're relearning to overcome it better. For me, it has been this case of having to embrace change and embrace change by moving into different environments, or operating on different schedules. So I'll give a backstory. 2025 has been very crazy. Beginning of 2025, January, I literally moved from the UK to Jamaica with my family, and literally end of the month, um, well, beginning of the second month, about February 2nd, my dad passed away, and that was literally a major shift in terms of the schedule and the plan that we had, because I was there to make sure that him and my mum got settled in, and then all of us were the family and whatnot was just here to just to build, because sold the houses in UK, so bought a new house in Jamaica, have the whole land, all that stuff, and then it changed, and then it was like, okay, so what am I doing right now? And so I'm in process of like being in part being in co in charge with the family, of course, with arranging the funeral. Has been relearning how to navigate through Jamaica, which is crazy in itself for the past 2 months. Now I'm back here in the UK for about a month and a bit to sort out more things because it's still continuing. But now that I'm back in the UK, the schedule's changed again, and so it got, even though I've lived in the UK, it became harder to adapt to the changes because the schedule was not the schedule that I would like, or I was used to, and so that came up for me because it was affecting me. And of course, when I identify and I'm aware that's going to affect me, I've got to do something about it because I like to solve things. I like to solve problems, and Zay likes to solve problems as well, and we like to help each other solve the problem and help others. And so yeah, so it came to me and saying re-embrace and change, because especially in this time that we're living in, we're forced to re-embrace change. But there, even though we're forced to re-embrace change, in me saying that, you might think, oh yeah, a lot of things are out of our control. Yes, that might be the case. There might be some circumstances that happen in our life, but we have choices. We have things that we can control. So it's the idea that change is inevitable, but thriving through it isn't. So you get to choose what you prioritize in order to choose how you thrive through it. And so we want to just dive deep on like ways that you can re-embrace change, and ways that uh, we are found, because we just want to share our insights in terms of how this gets to work in our life, and how is going to help us, and how this gets to help you as well. So I don't
Yeah.
know if you got anything else to say, Zay.
Yeah, you know, it was so crazy that when you actually were talking when we were preparing the notes for this conversation, and you said embrace change, and
Mm-hmm.
just this morning and last night I was journaling, and that's what was coming up for me, like, oh, I really get to, or actually I was having, since we've been transparent, I'll just go ahead and say, you know how sometimes we have these running thoughts. And so I've been having this battle in my mind about a situation that hasn't been handled, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's a part of me that gets to lead it. And I'm also in this period of my life where I am allowing other people to show up who they are, instead of me just handling it or me leading the relationship. And so I've been in this, over the past couple of months, I've been in this very uncomfortable situation of, well, let me see, how are you going to lead this,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm used to having control of my life, and I'm used to, like, you know, handling it and getting it done. And in this particular situation, you know, I just was like, you know what? Let me allow space to see how other people show up and how other people lead their relationships. And so I've been having this running battle in my brain, as far as like, oh man, like pretty much defending myself in the situation. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been really, you know, with everything that's been going on with the van and everything, there are other things that I've been, you know, handling and adulting and working through in my own life as well. It's like this one thought has been just plaguing my mind. And so I got to the point to where I'm like, you know what? I don't need any understanding of the
Mm-hmm.
situation. I don't need to comprehend it. I don't need it. I get when I now that because I was like, oh, just let it go. You know, I'm coaching myself through it. I'm journaling myself through it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm literally just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it go and don't fix it and don't care about defending myself
Mm-hmm.
or being understood and all that. And so literally I was like, you know, I get to just embrace this whole situation. I get to embrace this part of my journey. I get to embrace the situation. And then you're talking about embracing change. And so before, as we get into it, I do, y'all know, if you know, you know, I'm going to go ahead and look up the definition. Can y'all still see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
You still can see me? Okay, because
Just
I
opened up the
switched
chat.
chat.
Let me get off the chat.
I switched tabs, but let me look up this definition, because y'all know I love a good definition. So because I whenever I'm like working through something, I really like to understand, because our words have power. And so
Mm-hmm.
I love to make sure I am using my words as a tool in order to work through our problems or our situations or my healing. And so I like to make sure, you know, I'm using it correctly, and then also I'm grounding myself in the meaning of it. So when we embrace, number one, it means to hold someone closely in one's arm, especially in as a sign of affection. Embrace also means to accept, or support a belief, theory, or change willingly and enthusiastically. Another would be, so yeah, that's those are pretty much the two main definitions. So obviously, to embrace somebody, but number two is to, when we embrace something in our life, or when we embrace someone in our life, we get to accept or support the belief, the theory, or the change willingly and enthusiastically. So even, and since we're being like transparent, like, when Devin, losing his father, and even just a situation, that I was going through, it's different levels, but we get to embrace it. We get to be willingly like,
Yeah.
oh, goodness, this has happened. It's out of my control. I'm willingly allowing myself to just not be in control of the situation. I enthusiastically get to surrender and just allow things to be as they are, like to just
Yeah.
accept it, accept the
Yeah.
change, support it in any way that I can. So that's what the word embrace means. Do you have anything to add on that?
I love it. That accepting and being willing. That willing part, jeez. Literally, yeah, willing, like that willingness, the willpower. It's you. This is what came up for me as well. When I'm realizing about change, the change usually comes in the form of those habits. And so now it's like the question that comes up is like, what are you willing to do different? What are you willing to make a non-negotiable? What are you willing to compromise with? That willingness is like you put your heart and your mind into the activity. It's not just like, okay, your head saying it, but then you're conflicted in your heart. Your heart
Yes.
saying it, and then you're conflicted in your mind. It's
Yes.
there's there's willingness is a commitment. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah. Willingness is
it's
all in.
wholehearted. It's all of you in there.
Yeah. Even like mentally, emotionally, because that's what has been coming down. I feel a lot of times we talk ourselves, or we think about the commitments, but we're not emotionally in, we're not mentally
Hmm.
in, we're not energetically all in, so we're
Yeah.
not committed, right? So I think that is something that we actually get to do, like to deep dive on,
Yeah.
talking
Totally.
about being 100% in, because being 100% in, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's being faithful, all in. And I think a lot of times the reason why we like, dang, I've had this goal for so long, or I've been chasing after this thing, but it's like, okay, maybe your ideas, but your actions weren't all in. You didn't believe, so it didn't
Yeah.
work out, because yeah, you were doing the things, but energetically, mentally, emotionally, you were not locked in.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So being all in, embracing all of it, like surrendering and being faithful, like that's what we're talking about. Literally shifting our beliefs. It actually said a belief, a theory. It said a belief, a theory, a what did it say? A change, to accept a change willingly and enthusiastically, to accept a theory willingly and enthusiastically, to accept a belief willingly and enthusiastically, to support a belief, to support a theory, to support a change willingly, enthusiastically. So when we say embrace, that's what we're talking about,
Yeah.
on the
And that
journey.
re-embracing part is
Yeah,
is key because
yeah.
you've embraced an idea, you embraced a belief, you embraced the set of activities, or you embraced the change that you want to be a part of your life. But now you're put into a different situation where you have to you have to recommit to that same thing, but in different circumstances and a different environment. And so yeah, it's gonna look different, but the goal is still the goal. It's just, and now it comes down to when you're re-embracing change, like how are you going to navigate around that, right? How are you
Yeah.
going to navigate across this new environment? And so one of the one of the I came up with these three pillars. There's three pillars of like of re-embracing change. Um, One of them I kind of spoke to you a bit about earlier, but the three of them are mindset mastery, structured accountability, and adaptive resilience. And I talked to you about adaptive resilience before in terms of like adaptability, adapting to the situation and whatnot. But I want to speak about mindset mastery first. And so with mindset mastery, of course, well, evidently it's like mastering your mindset, so to speak. But it's really that mind. It's really that mindset shift because I saw this quote. It's from a study from Gallup, and they said that 72% of professionals say fear of failure is their number one barrier to change. So you say fear of failure is the number one barrier to change. And so when I hear that and connect it with change, we have collect let's say just putting it as a general theory. Like the reason why we can't embrace change is because we have a fear of failing in those in
Yeah.
activities involved in the change.
Yeah. We don't believe in it.
We don't believe in it. We like fear of letting something that letting ourselves down. Fear of whatever that is. The failure can come in different forms, but you can't. But if you want to if you want to actually like, succeed in the change, you can't lead with the problem. You can't lead with defeating yourself from the get go. Because you know Bruce Lee said defeat is not a defeat unless it's seen in the reality of your mind. So you have to not be defeated straight off the bat.
Yeah.
You can't you have to have a winning mindset straight away. So so what that means is shifting your the questions you ask yourself. So shifting it from what if I fail? What if I don't wake up on time? What if
Yes.
I don't do this on time? To what if I thrive? What if this succeeds? What if this happens? There's a different type of energy generated from that. So that means you when you re-embrace, that means you're reframing how you look at the reality, and you do it in a way that's going to serve you best. And so another way that could look is that you might say to yourself, okay, even though this change is bringing up some fears, even though this change feels scary, I can take a small step, whatever it may be, whatever that small step is, because your goal matters, because there is something higher than there's a solution that's greater than that problem that you're creating right now. Because the solution always is always going to be there. It's always on your mind, but it has to be on the front of your mind. So you have to be solution led, solution driven, because we just uh, tell me if I'm lying, but like everyone we put ourselves in these ruts for no reason. Like we waste a lot of mental energy, like even just overthinking or just deciding whether to decide or just and I know that's came up for me in my life a lot of times, and it's like just do something, you know. It's like just get on with the fear. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. Yeah, you're gonna maybe hurt yourself. You're gonna get some no's. We're gonna get more no's than yeses. But did you ask? Did you even make the step? Did you even take the step to change? Did you even take the step to to doing more exercise? Did you even take the step to
Thank you so much.
drinking a fruit juice? Did you even take the step to drinking more water? Did you even take the step to getting more sleep? Did you even take the step to building your business 1 week better than it was the last week? What did you do? Did you take a step? Is that's the real question, because we have to recreate the context and step into that context that we're recreating for ourselves. Because you can't just say, "Oh, I'll never find something better. Or I'll never do this. I'll never be able to do this." No, you deserve to find it, and deserve to be in alignment with what that thing is, and you have to embrace it. That's the only way, and you have to start. It starts with a mindset, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also wanted to share like the difference between embracing change and
Mm.
re-embracing change. Again,
Oh, nice.
it is so important that we have clarity in our vocabulary. And there's a distinct the difference, right? And
Yeah.
so when we talk about embracing change, usually it's talking about welcoming something new. So you may be in a place in your life where you are embracing it, because whatever you are facing or going through, or choosing in this moment of your life, it is something new. And shifting to something new of a mindset of openness to an initial shift, right? Even if they feel unfamiliar. So it's about embracing change, is about stepping into uncharted territory with curiosity. So kind of like where Devin was saying is like, I when you come up to a moment and like, okay, I get to make a change and it's your first time, you're
Yeah.
thinking, I'm ready for something new. Right? That's you embracing change. Now what we're talking about here is re-embracing change, right? Because every day, I know this is so like whatever, but every day is a new start. Every day is what we did yesterday don't count for today. Now it builds upon today, but you can't say, "Oh, I worked hard yesterday, so I ain't got to work hard today." No, we get to be intentional and purposeful every single day. Maybe the work looks different today, but we
Yeah.
still get to give our 100% every single day. So when we talk about re-embracing change, we're talking about returning to a place of trust and change. After we made a decision and we had resistance, or we've had disappointment, or we've had burnout. So it's not doing it for the first time. It's like, dang, man, I said I was going to eat healthy. And now, here I go again. I'm re embracing the change on the path to commitment to myself. It is a process of a renewal of the mindset, right? Especially after we experience setbacks or fear or doubt or disappointment.
Yeah.
So when we thinking about re-embracing change, we're talking about, an example would be like, man, I've been through change before and I'm choosing to lean in again with new strength and with a new perspective. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear, that the difference between embracing change, it's like first time courage. But whenever we're re-embracing, when we kind of got out of touch with our baseline of routines or
Exactly.
productivity,
Exactly.
we re-embrace through experience courage, like going back to say, oh, I've been here before, I've done that, oh, I can do this because I've done all this other hard stuff. So re-embracing is often a lot deeper and more intentional.
Yeah, exactly. That baseline. That's what you have to get at. That's what we have to get to. Like we have to. If you don't have a baseline, you're just you're in the water right now. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But find a baseline. Find a baseline. If
Create your baseline.
create your baseline. Create those things that you love to do. Like the things that actually matter to you. The things, the impacts you want to make in the world. The focuses you want to have. Like what inspires you. What do you aspire to do? All of those things come under your baseline, and it's gonna be your driving force. And we're gonna ask you some questions at the end of we'll ask the audience some questions at the end of the this. But one of the things even talk about baseline and willpower. If you go, if when we're going to when we're going another step further, a big thing that comes up for me is what Zay and I are all about is structured accountability. And that have accountability partners are often 3 times more likely to succeed in actually making a change. Someone to support you and guide you towards a goal that you've prioritized, you're 3 times more likely to get to that. But you have to have a baseline first. You can't just say you can't just go to someone and say help me, but they have the tools to help you, but you don't even have a baseline to be helped from. But you're all over the place. You have to have a list of things that you want, and you're willing to actually get that. You're willing to adopt systems that's gonna override that willpower. Because when you have your baseline, yeah, you can be willing to a certain extent, but what about those days that you're not? There's gonna be have to be a system of actions, a system of voices in your head that's gonna be guiding you through, and that's why we used to we not used to we implement the TDI framework, our think do improve method. Um, I don't know if you haven't got the prioritize and forever worksheet, by the way. You might have to click the link in the bio, or we'll put the link in the chat if you haven't got that already. But let us know. Comment in the chat if you want the prioritize and thrive worksheet to help you with that. But a structured accountability is so important because when re-embracing change, it's also about restructuring your life. It's also restructuring your life and making sure you keep your priorities at the core. And that's very. It sounds it can be hard, but it's very worth it. It's so worth it because who doesn't want to live life in their truest form, in their truest essence? Like who doesn't want to do that? But we're settling for not doing that often because of not having that system in place to do so. And another reason why it's like very important to me is because it's not just important to me. I think it's important to everyone that knows what they want in life and the things that and the goals that they have in life. They know that they're not going to be able to do it alone, but they also know that you're going to need systems in place to maximize your day, to maximize the moments you want to have every day, every year, every decade, whatever it is. You have to have these systems in place, and accountability is the one. Like for one of my favorite accountability partners is my Zabi. She's on point. She definitely on me 24/7. And then yeah, we got the old calendar. Now we've got other people around me, of course, but Zay is definitely my main because I'm majority of the time I'm in like we're in front of each other, so it's like face reality. It's like okay, cool. But I like that, and the thing is, one thing I've built over time that I had to re-embrace is that mental momentum. So what is very important is that when we're re-embracing change, we carry those habits that were working for us. We carry those habits that are serving us, and then we put them into that restructuring of our lives whenever we're moving and our schedules change, or whether our lives change, like turn upside down, all of that. You have to keep the core of who you are and the core of the activities that you had in your heart and your mind and on your schedule, and as a goal in general. Because you don't want to lose sight of that, because when you lose sight of that, you lose yourself, and that's a bad place to be in. It just is. Okay. And then the third of whilst Zay's looking for what she's looking for, I want to just quickly mention the third pillar. The third pillar
Give me one
the
second.
third pillar is adaptive resilience. So it's funny because I read this report by McKinsey, and they said 68% of leaders say adaptability is the most critical skill for 2025, and they said that right because, and I'm not gonna get political or anything like that, but recently, America's president did something about tariffs, right? Increased the tariffs, especially for China, across all the board, and that's something that for the economy will increase prices for the consumers. It'll lead to more inflation, increase price on goods, increase cost of living, and these are going to be like long-term challenges. So you might not even see the effects now, but it could potentially, but if it could potentially affect the economy and slower the economic growth all around as an individual as well. But here's what's great, because if you know that, you can do something to change that. You can actually do something to cushion the effects of that impact on the economy, because you have strategic partnerships, focus on collaboration, actually focus on what matters to you. Focus on
Pause
your
real quick.
priorities.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Go on.
Can you see the
Yeah, I saw it pop up.
it's
Did you put
up?
the link in? Did you put the link?
I did. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
What
but
is?
I wanted to show y'all.
Yeah,
Um,
throw up the link again. Yeah, nice.
can you
Thank you.
see it? Is it cut off,
Um,
or is it y'all see the whole thing?
no, no, no. It's cut off.
It
Minimize
is.
it if you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you make it smaller?
Oh yeah, give me 1 second.
Or just drop the other link, the link tree.
Well, no, because I wanted to like show everybody. I wanted to show everybody the because you mentioned the prioritize and thrive
Yeah, you want
work.
to show them the tool?
Yeah. Well, no, no, no. I just wanted to show them the link to go to if they wanted like the structured plan, like a way for them to be able to structure their life if they wanted a plan. And I y'all, so this is the first time we
Yeah, let me
are
drop it in here. First time using Riverside, so let's just see.
yeah, so we playing with it. So I was trying to get it up, but he moved on so fast.
Oh,
So
there
what
we go. There we go.
is it
Hey,
too small?
no,
And
it's nice. It's
if you're
nice.
watching, just try to click on it, y'all. It may actually be clickable. I don't know where y'all are
Mm,
watching because we're streaming to multiple platforms right
It,
now.
it keeps disappearing. I think it is clickable, by the way.
Yeah, so because I did put the link in there. So let me see if I make. But if I make it bigger, you said it was cutting it off. Let
Yeah.
me.
Well, the size you had it before was cutting off. Yeah, that's cutting it off.
It's cutting it off, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's clickable, let's see.
Yeah, so it's just www.totalfreedomnetwork.com/prioritize and thrive worksheet. We probably need to change that URL because it's so long. So we'll probably shorten it to probably just worksheet or something. But
I'm gonna drop it in the chat as well.
yeah, and then you can go back to your spiel about those tariffs and setting ourselves up. But we wanted to just give you that. It's just a simple template that Devan and I we created. We use it. Our clients use it,
Hmm.
and it supports people to help them follow through and start to um, create structure in their work. Whether it's like it can be, you can use it for anything. You can use it for yourself, use it for your family, use it for work. But it helps you create structure and to be more productive in your day. That's what that's for.
Yes, indeed. And so,
Okay. What were
well,
you
it's
saying
actually
about the
speaking.
tariffs?
Yeah, speaking of that, well, before I was talking about Trump's tariffs and what that would mean for the economy, but what it would mean for us as individuals is that not only we have to be resilient economically, but we have to be able to manage our emotions and be adaptive to the situation. Because, as I said before, it's all about adaptability. And so, what does that mean? It means who's ever heard of the word? Search up these words there: flexibility and grit.
Okay.
Yeah, research these words because this is what I mean by structured flexibility and adaptability and adaptive resilience. Flexibility and grit. So that's like bouncing forward and not just bouncing back. So you don't want these massive changes in the world to hold you back as an individual, but you can keep going through the tides. You can keep surfing through the tides no matter how big the storm is, no matter how big the waves are. But you'll
Yeah.
be okay because you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So flexible. Oh, let
Mhm.
me do flexible. You want me to do flexible or flexibility?
Flexibility, not flexible. Say a yoga podcast. No, I'm joking.
Flexibility is the quality of bending easily without breaking, the ability to be easily modified, willingness to change or compromise,
Mm,
the ability to bend and move easily without breaking or being rigid.
mm. Okay, cool.
And then what was the other one?
Grit.
Uh, Grit is courage. Literally,
Mm.
it's like courage is. I've never seen when you Google the definition, it literally I typed in grit and then it has courage in big letters. I've never seen it like this before, but courage and determination despite difficulty. True grit, it takes true. Hold on, give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so grit is courage, courage and determination despite difficulty. True
Mm.
grit, it takes true grit to stand. Oh, then now they're giving out different. Never mind. But anyway, it's related to words and phrases like bravery and audaciousness,
Mm-hmm.
but passion and perseverance. Yes,
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah,
courage.
so like yeah, grit, courage, when adaptability, flexibility. When you combine all of these attributes and like embed it into your character, make it part of your life, then you're not gonna be too overwhelmed by any major news that pops up because you're gonna be like, okay, this is happening. What's the best way to work around this? What should I be prioritizing right now? How do I have to restructure what's on my list? How am I prioritizing my energy, my relationships during and my tasks during this upheaval that's might be emotional, it might be life changing. What does that look like? And so that's something I had to realize for myself because I was at a point where I didn't. I mean, I was forcing myself to work, but I wasn't feeling good, of course, because of like my dad passing away, and things just felt weird. And yeah, things felt very weird actually, and they still feel weird. But of course, I'm better because now I'm adding more structure to my life, even though I have to restructure again. But that's another story. But it has been helpful because knowing what I want and prioritizing my energy, um, prioritizing what I have to do, what I get to do, what I want to do, just in spite of, that's helped me build myself back up. And so a lot of you might be in a space where you have to build yourself back up or you want to build yourself back up and it's a bit tough. But understand that if that goal is there in mind, just take that 1% daily progress. Just take that 1%, like ask yourself what does that 1% look like and just make small steps towards it. Like be flexible with how that looks as well. Because I'm telling you, each day is not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same. And you have to be able to make it through each day as well and say to yourself, oh, well, in spite of I did this. Like the day didn't go as I planned, but I still did this. And so then you can carry that energy of that, you can carry that win with you each day and push yourself to get to that 100% that you was, however long ago it was. Maybe it was a week or a month or two months, however long it was. But you have to understand yourself before you can start building systems around yourself. All right, before you seek the accountability, you need to before you seek the accountability, you have to know what you want. You have to have something in mind. I just have it in mind before you even put on paper because that's gonna carry you forward. Having that list of things you really want to do, but you just need that support and guidance with, that's where it starts. But you have to have the courage to even think it and write it down. Because sometimes we're scared of our own thoughts. We're like, oh, this is a really great idea, but I don't know. I mean, if it lit you up that much, I'm sure it has some weight in the world. I'm sure. Weight in your world even. All right? And with that being said, I want to ask the audience some questions. So this is I would leave them with some questions. So
Well, because I wanna do like some practical, like just like a fire practical round of like just some simple things that they could do in order
okay,
to re-embrace. I know you went through a lot, and I want to do
yeah,
like some more practical things, and
let's
then
go.
yeah, yeah. So like we're ultimately re-embracing change. It can be uncomfortable. It can feel uncomfortable. You can feel lost. Or you may actually be self-sabotaging and actually putting yourself in the rut. But and we get to know that when we embrace change, it is powerful for our growth. And so just like I'm gonna just shoot some stuff at y'all just so y'all can have an idea. Okay, like okay, what can I do like today? Like, and just I'm gonna say a few different ways, and then just take what some practical. These are some practical steps that you can take and start to implement today. Right. So number one is just reframe what you're facing, and it doesn't have to be bad, it doesn't have to be sad. It can be embracing the change of being a parent. It can be embracing the change of having a new house. It can be something great too, right? It doesn't have to be sad always, but reframe it. If think, instead of asking yourself like, why is this happening to me, or am I can I really handle all this, try asking yourself when you are going through something like, what is this really teaching me? Or asking yourself, who do I need to become in order to have this type of thing? Or what do I need to do? What would a person who has those things do? What would a person who manages their money well, like what are some things to do? What are some things that they listen to? What are some things that they think? Shift from fear, shift from anxiety, shift from worry to curiosity. Number two would be start small. Make one small change on purpose, right? In order, the van was talking about the flexibility and the adaptability. So, for example, try a new morning routine, add something or replace it with something else, take a new route to work. So whenever we start practicing change in low stake areas in our life, like it's not a really big deal. Like if I go to work this way or that way, I'm still going to get to work, right? But whenever we start to practice low stake change, adaptability, flexibility, it actually builds confidence, and it also gives us new experience, right?
I like
Number
that
two,
low stake. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, low stake,
yeah.
high stake. Yeah.
Also, reconnect with your why. Remind yourself, what you're working towards. I know for me personally, I'm always having to like, I need to look at the list. I need to go back to the priority. I need to see. And I know having my vision board up or having it on my wall, sometimes, just taking a piece of paper and writing stuff and having it just so I can see it. So it's in my mind, because if I don't see it happening, it's not happening, right? But purpose, when we know our purpose, when we know why we're doing something, purpose, it makes change feel less like a loss, and it makes it feel more like progress. It gives us more, we're more anchored into to keep going, and we feel like, I don't have all the answers, but I know the direction. I know this is the way. You can't distract me because I know this. I don't know exactly if it's the left or the right. I don't know all, but like I know this is the way. So it gives us guidance, and it gives us more certainty versus not having a direction or clarity on the why, right? Or the purpose of us doing it. Number four would be talk it out. This is me all day, every day, honey. Hey, it's to the point to where, if the van's not available, or if the van is the if he is the obstacle, I'm talking to myself, I'm journaling, but definitely talking it out, discussing it with someone that you trust. And again, you might not have a divan. Not many people have a divan. No, I'm just kidding. But just if you don't like have like a person that you trust, journal. I love to journal. It is so supportive. And if you do have somebody that you trust, literally to ensure, or you can hire a therapist, right? Or a coach or somebody, but ensure that you are going to that person with the intention of the conversation. Like Devan knows, like
Hmm.
I'm going to him for some advice. I'm like or I'm going to him for some feedback, or I'm going to him because I just need to vent. But ensure, like, whenever you're going to that person, especially if they're like a family member or a friend, like, frame to them like, hey, I just need to get this out. Or,
Yeah.
this is
Hmm.
what don't go to them and asking them for permission, but you can go when I say advice, you're like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Would you be open to give me some advice about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Often, and often saying something out loud, it really helps us release resistance, to embrace the change. I got a few more. Number 5 would be reflect on your past wins. And when we talk about, that's how we build courage, that's how we build our self identity. If when we look at, the times on how we handle things well. And also, I learned a
Hmm.
lot when I didn't handle something well, they actually sting a little bit more. And I'm just like, I know, don't handle stuff like that no more, right? But if you've done it before, you have proof to yourself, no matter how many times you've let yourself down, you've disappointed yourself, you have proof to you when you look at your past wins that you can do it again. Number 6 is to practice gratitude, even in uncertainty. Find one thing to be thankful for. Find one thing to be thankful for. Gratitude grounds you and it keeps you open, and it
Hmm.
can be literally. I know the other day I was just in so much gratitude that, I was just able to sit on the couch and snuggle in my blanket and just watch a good movie. I was so grateful. I was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then my mom was like, girl, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And number 7, Devan hit on this a lot, is to stay flexible, not being perfect,
Oh
right?
yes.
Nothing is perfect. Perfect is the fact that you're taking the steps forward, you're making actions forward. So perfection is never the goal. Progress, progress, progress is the goal. So let go of rigid expectations and just stay in motion. We're human beings, we're living beings. We get to stay in movement.
Oh yes. Tell them for the
So,
people in the back.
yes, yes, yes. So, those are my quick points. What were you going to say?
Yeah. So yeah, those points are amazing, by the way. And yes, gratitude, of course. Progress is important. Um, but I want. I'm very curious. What do for the audience? What do you struggle with the most? What do you struggle with the most, audience? Is it from everything we said? Is it like the mindset? Is it accountability? Is it resilience? So what is that? What is it for you? That what from even for what Zay said in terms of the seven steps to embracing change. What comes up for you? Like let us know in the comments in the chat below. All right, let us know because we want to know how we can best serve you and best help you as well along even as we on our journey and in helping you empowering you on your self mastery journey and a journey of accountability because one what this is an interesting fact from so fact or report from Forbes last year. So they Forbes says 89% of people who embrace change with a plan report higher life satisfaction,
89%. Wow.
but only 23% actually create the plan.
Mmm.
So we need to fix that, right? Like that this comes down to the baseline. That baseline is that plan.
Oh, if I need to get my charger.
Yeah, no. Okay, cool. The baseline is that.
I can hear you. I just need to grab it.
Oh, cool, cool. We'll be five. We've got 5 minutes left on it.
Are you doing that? Can you hook up my iPad?
No. Give me 1 second.
For 6 days.
Yeah. So as I was saying, that baseline that we spoke about, that's the plan. And if you don't if you don't base change around that's around your baseline, that's supporting that baseline, that's supporting that plan, it's highly likely that you're not satisfied in life. It's highly likely that you're not on the path to having a satisfied life or fulfilled life. But if you actually have that baseline, like have that plan, and are actually or willing or embracing the actions to make that plan a reality, then that would lead to more life satisfaction. That would lead to more fulfillment in how you want to show up and what you want to do in your life. So that's why I asked, what do you struggle with most? Because literally, sometimes underneath that, there's something that doesn't align with your baseline. There's something in between the answer that doesn't align with your baseline. So it's messing up your plan a little bit, you know? And so you get to identify that. So we want you to comment below in the chat. Let us know what that actually looks like for you. Share this live with someone who needs to hear this as well. All right. And of course, if you're ready for that personalized help, we got you covered. All right. Book a VIP day of us. Text us at what's the number, Jose?
757-780-8585. And it really is, it's just the, and honestly, we don't work with everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
if you are looking for support to help you organize your mind, structure your life, really get you out of a rut, or to support you to make steps towards progress of whatever your goal is. I know some people are really focused on their self glow up journey. There's some people who are
Mm-hmm.
focused on having more family time, and more family memories and experiences. And then there's people who are wanting to be more profitable and productive in your business, and really I don't want to say compartmentalizing, but really categorizing, organizing their self, and they're actually making progress. So, if you're looking for more time or energy, that's how we support people. And when we talk to people, it's really just us seeing, like, if it's a fit, and if it's not, we tell you that, and we give you
Yeah.
resources to move on and work with somebody else, because we do have a lot of people in our network. But if it is, then that's where we work with you, and we help you come up with a plan, and we hold you accountable. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, it's all about re-embracing the path. It's all about restructuring, and just getting to that next level that you desire, to be living a full, fulfilled, authentic life.
Yes, yes, and yes. And just remember, before we go, just remember, change isn't inevitable. No, change is inevitable, but thriving isn't, because it's a choice, and change is by circumstance, or is it by choice? Oh, think about that. So we'll see you on the next one. Let us know again. Comment, share with us what pillar you struggling with the most, and see you on the next one. Take care. Stay empowered. Bam. And we're off.